we're starting our stream and start our recording. Hey, in this specific section, I'm going to be covering, on this live, I'm going to be covering a sales process that you can use in your day-to-day operations. And this is not just for recruiting people or selling new clients. You can use this for about anything. Okay, and we'll dive in. So first thing what I want to do is I want to give you a quick update. Okay, a quick update on our leads directory. So this way you can kind of see how the leads directory, we're going to be adding a few different things. So this way we can get our ranking there. But let's dive in. I'm going to show you this quick update. So that being said, here we go. Okay, so we're here, we're in gFunnel. Now, if you don't know what gFunnel is, again, it is an all-in-one platform that allows you to organize your entire business operation, anything and everything that you do. If you notice, I have a platform here, right? Profile here. And all my applications for this specific company are organized. These applications are such as like an ads management platform, ads, right? An API hub, an AI software, a contract software, diagram software, right? My Google Drive, because I use that. My AI solution, employee AI solution, my lead connector solution, my project management solution, simulator in case I need to simulate a marketing strategy, and then some of my RPA tools. So there's quite a few different things. If you want to get started, you create a free account, right? Free account, you can start adding your own stuff if you desire to have our stack of tools. So this is our stack of tools, okay? Normally, right, you went and bought them yourself, which you can do. You'd be paying roughly $700 to $1,000 per month for all of the softwares. Now, what we've done is since we bought them, whether we bought them white labeled for an agency, whether we bought them for or partnered with them in early pieces, a lot of them we can now give out access to. So instead of paying $700 to $1,000, you can simply upgrade to our Office Elite plan, which is $97 a month. If you dive in here, $97 a month, and it gives you, again, what you would normally pay Lead Connector at $97, right? But it gives you more. It gives you all of the different softwares. Normally you would pay each one of these roughly about $97 per month, roughly. You would pay those things. It just makes it so you can save money. So that being said, we're gonna dive in. So the first thing I want to do is give you kind of a quick update on part of the directory piece. So each directory is listed within a profile. So we have, anytime somebody requests information, right? Like let's say leads, this is usually where we bring that information at. So this would be leads, open leads for a specific client or a specific user. Now these are open leads. Person can click into these open leads and they have all of the information here, similar to a directory, right? You can call the business, you can email the business, right? We're going to have a new button that's going to be added below this that will just sync it to your CRM. Like let's say it is Lead Connector or whatnot. It'll just automatically sync it. And then once we have those modules in, then we're going to take a look at the look and the feel, right? Because modularizing is key. Then we want to make or take a look at the look and the feel. But what I want to do is give you a quick update. So where the system's currently at, so you can kind of see, we've been focusing on food and dining just within the Texas area, okay? That's the demographic just within the Texas area. We've had about 13,000 pages created, roughly. There's 12,000 pages. And what it means by 12,000 of these, this would be like a listing. This is an example of a listing where we come in and we pull all the information in, unique information coming in, right? We connect a sales process. We will be advancing this by adding different footer links in here, like best CRM software in wherever this is located. Let's say this is located in Henderson, right? So we'll be doing some local SEO here shortly. But now what does this mean? This means that the system has created about 13,000 pages, okay? So 13,000 new unique pages, but not only did it create 13,000 pages, it created 13 times 1, because this is unique, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and anything that is connected in between. So we're looking at 13,000 times, let's say 8. 13,000 times 8 is, I don't know the math on that. Let me just check really quick. And now what is the importance of this? There's none yet, right? But I'll just do 13,000 times 8 equals about 140,000 pages. This has been done in the last 3 days, 4 days, something like that. So we have about 104,000 pages created within our system. And these are not just like the trick pages. These are actual dedicated pages with actual dedicated links, with actual dedicated information, with actual dedicated images, right? And they're all connected, right? So that's the first update. Okay, now what does that do for us? That helps with local SEO. That's what it does. So there's a little bit of local SEO that is involved with that. The local SEO, again, it helps. It helps drive traffic, and it helps drive a lot of different things. Here, I'm going to grab a link just in case you want to enjoy music versus just this. Here's the YouTube channel. You can jump right in. It's just live on YouTube right now too. Okay. That being said, that's basically what it's doing. And now we're putting listings. So now, right, the goal is to have our rankings to start increasing. So I'll give you one more view of this, and then I'll jump right into that sales process. Okay. Locations map. Oh, I did that wrong. My bad. Locations. There we go. Dash map. Alrighty, here we go. So now this is in a sense what it does. Okay. So again, there are a few other ones here because there's a few other leads that were requested. But for the most part, there you go. This one will show about 10,000 at a time. So 10,000 is the max it'll show, but that way you can kind of see the saturation of where we're focusing. So in this case, let's say we're focusing in Austin. Now this is just, we're dealing with restaurants right now. Okay. So let's say I'm focusing there. So if it looks kind of like a Google map, right? And we'll change these, like I have these icons. I'll just change all of these icons to maybe like a G-Funnel logo or something. But right now it's just fine. It's business listing, right? And it'll explain what it is. Listing, right? It shows the listing. So now I can click on it, and sure enough, here's a page. This is a bad page, actually. Let's see if I can find a better page with newer information on it. Maybe. Let's go here. There you go. Okay. So that'll give you an example. Okay. That being said, I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper. So now what does that do? What does that do, right? So if you're a user here, so I'll just kind of show you on like how does it benefit you, not just how does it benefit us, right? If you're a user in here, again, it's a free account, you're a user. What it does is it actually drives, so we have backend SEO that is driving traffic, and it drives traffic to your profile. So let's just pretend that this is your profile for just a second, right? People can start discovering you, because now you're connected to the solution, okay? Whether it's a free connection or not doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You still have tools. We'll still give you some stuff. We'll still give you stuff to make you happy, right? You also have your affiliate link. So again, if you're wanting to share and you're wanting to make affiliate cash, you can, right? Like affiliate cash meaning like you don't want to manage the business, let's just say. You just want to make reoccurring money on the backside. You don't want to manage the business, because you can, right? Like you can build your own business, you can build your own stuff, and I'm sure you can do very well at it because you're probably pretty awesome at it. But let's just say you just don't want to deal with that. You're like, I'm really good at that, but I don't want to deal with it. Let's just say that's your situation. That's why you just refer this out. The person signs up. Let's just say they sign up. It could be anybody. It could be somebody that you're serving. It could be a friend. Doesn't matter. They sign up, right? They end up upgrading to services. You get paid reoccurring money forever, as long as they're a business, which we built this system to go over the operations of a business. Does that make sense? So as long as that business is in business, most cases, they're going to use this stuff because it's embedded in their operations. That allows you to make a reoccurring commission forever. It really does. Like if you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. Why the frig would we have an affiliate link? I mean, that's what our system's designed for. No other system on the planet does this stuff, right? If you notice, there's some cool systems that are starting to do this. Like, look at Facebook. Facebook's starting to pay people out for content creation, right? Why are they doing that? Because again, they are an SEO company. They need people to post. And if you're like, nope, that's not it, I can promise you it is. Okay, so that being said, jumping back. Okay, so that's again just a little bit of the updates. Now, what I want to do is I want to dive into the sales process. Okay, I gave you enough of an update on that part, so let's jump into the sales process. Okay, so now sales process, and I'll put a timer on here so this way you know, and I'll put about 10. I'll put 11 minutes in. There you go. So that way, if you want, you can fast forward it. If you're watching the video, you can fast forward it, because now we're going to deal with the sales process. I just gave you an update. Now we're going to jump into the sales process. I did put a link here on every listing of the sales process. Okay, so where does this sales process come from? So let me kind of explain it really quick. So I used to work for a company called Lexington Law Firm. Okay, Lexington Law Firm. If you're not quite familiar with them, Lexington Law Firm is like a credit repair law firm. So if I go Lexington Law Firm, and it's really not. That's what it's masked as. Does that make sense? That's the perception that is given, right? So like, I'll just show you. Like Lexington Law Firm, right? Here's Lexington Law Firm official site. If I jump up here it is. It's a credit repair law firm is basically what it is. Okay, and my responsibility, I was quote unquote a paralegal, right? I was quote unquote a senior paralegal. Was I a true paralegal with them? No, I wasn't, okay? But that's what they masked us as, these sales associates and sales affiliates, as these paralegals, okay? We worked for a company called Progression, right? So there's Lexington Law Firm, and the sales part of the company was called Progression. And I'll put Lexington Law. So there was a front law firm, but there was a. I'll have to double check. I don't know where Progression is. I don't know. I'm just going to go with Lexington Law Firm. Okay. But anyways, so what would end up happening is a lead would come in. So there's a few channels in which those leads comes in, and I'll kind of explain it right here. I mean, we have this whole process, but I'll kind of draw it out for you, so this way you have a fresh process too, okay? So, but just know, context-wise, Lexington Law Firm is this law firm that does credit repair. So they educated us on credit repair, how credit repair worked. Like, they educated us on multiple different things, and then basically how we started, we had about a 2-week period. 2-week period, we started at $13 an hour for that 2-week period, and we were in sales. So $13 an hour was it was decent pay back then, right? We're talking 13 years ago, more maybe, right? Decent pay back then, right? And it transitioned over to $8 an hour, right? So you were making $13 an hour over a set time. It decreased down to $8 an hour or commission. Okay, that was their whole payout. What they paid for commission, they paid commission about $25 per sale is what they paid. And now, how many sales can you get? I averaged about 13 to 16 sales per day is what my personal average was. Did I do lower than that? Yeah, but I felt bad. Like if I got 8 sales during a day, I felt bad. Does that make sense? And again, that 8 sales is $25 an hour. At $25 an hour, I just kind of felt bad, like I wasn't doing well. So I would usually get 13 to 16 sales per day. And then conversion rate, the average conversion rate, and this all depended on the channel. So they had a few channels. One was outbound, right? Outbound, of course, the conversion rates is low. Then they had one that was inbound. These are people that are calling the law firm, and you're answering the phone call and taking it. The next one that they had was something called Hot Swap. Hot Swap was basically like a third party was trying to give them like rent to own and whatnot, right? Though they would transfer the calls into us to fix the credit in a sense. So we had a few things. Where I focused most of my time was 2 places. Hot Swap, right? And inbound. But the desired place was inbound. Why? Because it's the easiest skills, it's the easiest sales. And how they structured it is the people with that, right? Like with the highest skills and highest sales points were placed on inbound. Meaning the best salesman got the easiest leads. I want you to take that concept. The best salesman got the easiest leads. Why? So the lead wouldn't be wasted. It can just be ran through. Boom, 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 right? Now, the second best people, right, and this was the best and second best people were placed on HotSwap, okay? So for me, I spent most of my earlier time on HotSwap first. There were people that were much better than I am. But then, once analyzation came on my conversion rates, because my conversion rates were, the average conversion rate was about 20% on HotSwap. My conversion rates were 60, 70, 80%. They were very, very high. They were higher than anyone else in the entire company for almost the entire time that I was there. When it changed to inbound, my conversion rates increased to an average of 89% conversion rate. There are a few people that I didn't close, very few, but most everyone I closed. Okay, so I did a good job. Okay, that being said, I'm going to show you kind of the process in which that sales script worked, because I was the one responsible at the end of the day for delivering that sales script to them, right? They mimicked what I did because how high my conversions were, and I was able to do it almost on autopilot, meaning I could almost sleep and I could sell people based upon pieces. I'm going to go through the details of that sales script. Again, it's been a while. I still have them. This is the process. If you jump in, I'll share the link with you. So if you want the link, I would use it. Like I would, okay? I'll share the link with you though. This link right here is a very good link if you're looking to understand your sales patterns, your sales processes. Very, very good. Okay, click on it. I have it built out, okay, and I'll kind of go over it for you, okay? So I did it in a blog, so this way people can see it. I added some cute little images, this way people can know it, okay? But I'm gonna go through the actual processes of it, so this way you can see it a little bit more defined, okay? So, again, when you're ready to, and you're like, ooh, I wanna dive into the actual training of it, just click the link.
So this section will go over the exact.
And I'm training people on it. So this way you can jump in here. People are asking some questions. I walk through each and every stage, okay, of the sales process. I'm not gonna go that deep into it, but I'll go pretty deep, okay? So that being said, let's pop up the sales process really quick, okay? Here's the sales process. And there's quite a few processes to lead somebody here. I'm gonna make it lean, right? So I'm gonna kind of walk through this script. So again, this was the lead channel, lead came in, right? There was the handshake introduction, right? That handshake, from there, we were trying to find the dream pain bridge. It's the dream pain obstacle. After that piece right there, we always pivot. So there's a pivot from here within the bridge. It's the pivot is, so it's like, once you find the dream pain, and I'll go through all of the steps. So this way you get some knowledge from this, right? And you can use this, okay? If you need an exact sales script, I can give you it too. But I want to give you the processy first, so you understand it. Why do you want to understand it versus reading words? If you understand it, you can implement it in your day-to-day operations. You can implement it in your day-to-day lives. You can implement it into anything and everything that you're doing. It becomes very powerful. Like I said, if I could convert high, very, 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 very high on it, you can too. Like, I'm no different. I'm not special. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, and hopefully that stands out. It's just a freaking process, and that process anyone can copy, okay? But again, how it worked is we had a handshake, okay? From there, we had our dream pain bridge. Then we pivoted into a discovery. After the discovery, we went into presentation. After presentation, we went to asking for the objection, right? I asked for the objection. It wasn't like I just assumed the sale, which again, door-to-door sales I did, I asked for the objection so this way I can focus on the overcoming. Because if I can overcome it, then I can push them forward. This is how we did it. Now, there's different sales tactics here because there's one, right? And I'll just I'll put two paths here. Asking for the objection, and there's another one, assuming the sale. Okay? And you want to mix these two together. So you want to assume it, they're going to move forward. Assume it, right? This is the loop. And you can assume it by asking questions. You can actually mix these two together. Okay, I'm not going to dive into all of the variables here, okay, because there are some variables. But you can assume it. From there, you ask for the order, and then you hand off fulfillment. Very easy, right? Very, very easy. Okay, so I'm going to start this. So this way you can see it. Okay, so when we started the introduction, since we're doing high volume, my goal was to make the person laugh, right? So to make the person laugh, what I did is I would say, so first, my tone. Okay, so let's push our tone right here. My tone, tonality. There's something that I'm sure that I didn't make it up, but at the time I felt like I made it up. And everyone was basically looking at me and said, yeah, Cam made this up, right? And it was called Gay It Up. And I mean that literally, kind of, right? With our tone, Gay It Up. So there's individuals that are intimidated. So like you can get people on the phone and sometimes they're intimidated. Sometimes they're a little bit like anxious. Sometimes they're scared to progress towards a call. So the best way to overcome that is to gay it up. And what I mean by that, okay, and I don't mean this derogatory in any ways, I mean make it flamboyant. So for instance, I'm going to give you an example. We're going to role play for a little bit. I'll give you an example. And then what we're going to do is we're going to transition that example to two different outcomes. So this way you have a little split test. Okay. So let's say I'm calling, and let's say I'll do it as Lexington Law Firm, right? So do it as Lexington Law Firm. This same script can be implemented to any and all companies, any and all products at any and all times. Okay. That way you know that the process has many variables, and you can grab this and copy to people, and it is very valuable. So the first thing is the handshake. So what I would do, I would say, thank you for calling Lexington Law Firm. This is Cameron. And then I would give myself an authority or a title. Like I'd say, thank you for calling Lexington Law Firm. This is Cameron. I'm a senior paralegal with Lexington Law Firm. How can I assist you today? So that's the inbound phone call. Seems normal, right? Person say, yeah, I was actually calling because I was interested in credit repair. We'll use Lexington Law Firm for now, and then we'll transition. I said, okay, perfect. I can assist you with that. And then I would make them laugh, right? Because I want to make them feel comfortable. I would say, but before we get continued, just know the calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. And then I would always add a little joke at the end. So don't say anything that I wouldn't, right? You don't have to say that, but I did that to stir a laugh. And they'd be like, oh, and then I would say, and then I would continue. So again, my name is Cameron Garlick. I'm a senior paralegal with Lexington Law Firm. And then I would give I'm looking at person, company, product. Okay, there's three things that you're trying to build authority for. Does that make sense in the introduction? There's three things: person, company, product. So I'd say, my name is Cameron Garlick. I'm a senior paralegal with Lexington Law Firm, right? That gave me authority as a person. Now the company, Lexington Law Firm is the #1 rated credit repair law firm in the United States. We specialize, and then I let them know based on future seeds, we specialize in repairing credit or fixing this or fixing that and removing XYZ or removing collections, removing this, removing that, right? I would explain to them exactly what people's common triggers are at that point. What I did there is I said, company, we're the best, and this is the product that we do. We specialize in credit repair, removing XYZ. Does that make sense? And I put that in a little box and I give it to somebody. And then I say, right, so my handshake was to build authority. The next piece, I transition, I pivot. So this one, introduction, is literally to build, and I'll put this down. Put a little box here, okay? The entire goal of this piece right here is to build authority. That's the entire goal, okay? And you have authority right here, right? You want authority, okay? And the authority that I'm building is personal, company, product. Do you see how you can apply this to any business ever? Hopefully, okay? That was my entire goal here. So introduction is authority, right? And maybe I'll add one more step. Okay, let me add just one more step here. Maybe right here. Now, why am I going over a little sales training? Because sales, you need it. You absolutely need it. Okay, and we implementing a lot of this stuff too. So handshake, introduction, right? I'd create laughter or connection. So I'd say create connection. You can call it rapport, right? But this is laughter. I would make them laugh. Don't say anything I wouldn't. Ha 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 ha. I'd make them laugh, right? Even though it's dumb because I said it over and over and over again. Even though it's like tedious because again, over and over and over again, the same thing. It's not funny anymore. I pretended to make it funny. So another thing, okay? Tonality, gay it up. I'm gonna add another one. Personality. Your personality is an actor. You're an actor or an actress. Actor or actress. Thank you for spelling it right for me. There we go. That's your personality. And if you're like, well, wait, I want to put my own personality there. No, you're an actor or an actress. That's what you are. And it's like, well, what do you mean by that? You're going to have an individual that's going to speak with you that is dealing with anything and everything in their entire life. And that anything and everything probably isn't going to resonate with you. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it's up to chance. So your goal is to be the actor. The actor is somebody who is a chameleon. The actor is somebody who can adapt. The actor is somebody who can adjust. So again, gay it up, right? Be the actor. And I'll go through those, okay? Next thing, handshake. Create connection, make them laugh, create authority, right? And then your next piece is, what do you think it is? Come on. You can tell me. If you're in the chat, you can tell me. What do you think it is? What's the next step? It's easy. Pivot, okay? Just pivot. So this is now your next step, pivot. Pivot. That's your next step. And your pivot transitions them to your bridge. That's the entire goal of your pivot. So now how does this look? Right? How does this process look? So I'm going to put it in here. So again, I'll do it normal all the way to pivot. And then I'll do it with these specific sectors added. Somebody calls me. Hey, this is Lexington Law Firm, right? I don't even have to say my name up first. Hey, this is Lexington Law Firm. How can I help you today? Yeah, I'm looking to get my credit fixed in XYZ. Okay, perfect. Just so you know, before we start, that all calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. So just don't say anything that I wouldn't, all right? All right, ha ha ha, right? You'll hear when the gay it up to make it laugh, right? The next thing I do is I say, perfect. So again, my name is Cameron Garlick. I'm a senior paralegal with Lexington Law Firm. Lexington Law Firm is the #1 rated credit repair law firm in the United States. And we specialize in the removal of negativity such as late fees, collections, bankruptcies, and XYZ off of the credit report. Okay, so what did I just do? I built authority. Next thing, I pivot. So let me ask you a few questions just to get things started. Oh, okay. I want to get that agreement. Okay. Let me take a few moments to ask you some questions to get started. Okay. I jump right into the pain bridge. Okay, so now we covered that first section. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with these specific characters in mind, right? So somebody calls me, right? They call me, right? Ring, ring, ring. Then now I get up. This is Lexington, or they answer. I say, "This is Lexington Law Firm. How can I help you today?" Get up. Yeah, I'm looking for that. Okay, perfect. Just before we begin, I want you to know that all calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. So just don't say anything that I wouldn't, okay? They'll laugh. Next thing. So again, my name's Cameron Garlick. I'm a senior paralegal with Lexington Law Firm. Lexington Law Firm is the #1 rated credit repair law firm in the United States, and we specialize in cleaning out negativity from your credit reports, such as late fees, collections, bankruptcies, or judgments, or anything related to that piece. So before I begin, I'm going to ask you just a few questions just to get things started, okay? Okay. Bridge. Do you see the difference? I put in this little flair, this little flamboyancy there. Lexington Law Firm, this is Cameron. How can I help you? My intimidation goes down. So if I'm just talking, I'm like, "This is Lexington Law Firm," or, "Hey, this is Cameron with Lexington Law Firm. How can I help you today?" There's an intimidation because, again, if it's a female calling in, they're going to say, "Gosh, I'm dealing with a male. The stuff that I'm going to speak about is vulnerable. I don't want to do that. I don't want to share that stuff. I don't want to open my gates up. I don't want to do that." So how do you do it? You gay it up in your personality to be the actor or actress. You gay it up and you play the charades. Okay? Now you pivot. Okay? So let's pivot. Okay? So now we pivoted. In this pivot, you're going to have a few different pieces. You're going to have the dream piece. Dream, pain, bridge. So let me ask you a few questions before we get started. Now I start with the dream. So what exactly were you trying to, what exactly were, I would now embed the product. So seems like you're trying to get your credit repair like fixed, right? What are you trying to get your credit repair fixed for? Or what's going on, right? I open it with an open question. Then they're going to tell me, well, you see, I was actually trying to, I was trying to get a house. I was trying to get a car loan. I was trying to get a business loan. I was trying to get XYZ. I was trying to. That's what they're saying. I was trying to. Okay, so you're trying to do that, but I mean, what's holding you back? Well, I think it's my credit, right? That's me saying, well, what's holding you back? Well, I think it's my credit. Well, what do you mean? I dive deeper in that pain. So you open up the dream, open it up. The bigger the dream, meaning the more questions that you ask about the dream, the bigger the creativity gets, the more emotionally engaged these individuals get. The bigger it gets. Does that make sense? The more they get connected to the sales process. So you make that dream as big as possible based on what they're telling you. They're like, I'm looking to get a house. You're looking to get a house? That's amazing. What are you looking to get? Well, there's this 2-story house that I found. You make them identify it. There's this 2-story house that I found that I was trying to file like a application for, and when I did that, gosh, they denied me because of my credit. Well, tell me about the house. Is it your dream house? Is it the one that you want? Yeah, it is. It's my dream house. It's the ones I want my family to grow up in, my kids to go swimming in, my XYZ. You get them emotionally attached to that dream as much as humanly possible because it's their dream. It should be emotionally attached. Then you pivot. Dream, pivot. What is their burning desire, right? And you'll see it right here. Dream, pivot. Then you pivot into the pain. Well, what would you say the thing is that's holding you back? Is it just your credit, or is there anything else? And you show the empathy. It's all about empathy and sympathy, right? This is where you actually become sympathetic. Empathy is being in the footsteps. Sympathy is, I'm sorry, right? You want to make them feel sorry because it establishes the pain, it establishes the feeling. So you expand on that, the pain. Is this the only thing holding you back? Or is there anything else that's holding you back? No, like, it's definitely my credit, man. Like, it's my late fees, it's my XYZs, it's this. And you're like, oh gosh, do you know what's actually on there? No, I don't know. Okay, we'll take a look in just a second. Future paced. Now it's the obstacle. There's a pivot to the obstacle. And then you correct it. Just to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly, your main goal, your burning desire is to get this house, the house that you want your kids to grow up in, the house that you want this stuff. But the only thing that is holding you back is your credit, the specific late fees and XYZ on those credits. So here's the bridge. So if we are able to help you remove those late fees, remove those collections, remove the bankruptcies, remove those things, or we're help you market or help, again, however you want to transition that. If we're able to help you do that, is there anything else that would be holding you back from achieving that? No. Well, no, that's it. Oh, well, that's simple. that's your transition. No, that's it. You just made this big old obstacle. And is that the only thing that's holding you back? And they're like, yeah, that's it. That's my whole life, man. And they'll cry. They'll do whatever. You're establishing vulnerability there. And then you transition. Your pivot is, oh, well, that's simple. And you change your tone. Oh, that's simple. I mean, that's exactly what we do. Let me do this really quick. Let me analyze exactly what's going on, so this way I know exactly how to help you. And then you transition from open-ended questions to close-ended questions, to yes, to yes, to yes, right? So if you notice, I went from open-ended, what's your big dream? What's your pain? What's this big obstacle? And is this the only thing that is holding you back? And the answer is yes, 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 it is. Now I transition. Now I'm going to keep that close-ended question. I'm going to keep it into the discovery. So now let's say we do the discovery, okay? Actually, before we do, now we went through that side. Now we're going to add it in the tones. First tone is gay it up. Second tone is that personality of the actor or actress. So then we would start. So I'd say, okay, so to get things started, right? And I would flamboyant my voice. To get things started, I'm going to ask you a few questions just so we make sure that we can help you out, okay? Yeah. So what exactly are you looking to get? I'm looking to get a house next week. Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. So you're trying to get a house and you're trying to do it for your kids, and you're the actor, pushing the energy to them. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? I'm not going to go through the rest of this, but does that make sense? Tonality, gay it up, personality, you're the actor, actress, then you transition over to the discovery, okay? Next part of the discovery is close-ended questions, yes and no, and what your goal is to pull it up. So again, if you're in credit repair, what are you going to do? Well, you pull up their freaking credit, right? You gather information, so can I get your social really quick? Yeah, cool, right? What we did is we were getting people, they were calling us, we were collecting their social. We're a third-party company, we're collecting their social security number, their date of birth, their credit card information, their mother's middle name. Like, we're collecting all of this information. Does that make sense? Right? So discovery, they trust you now. Now it's discovery. Let's take a look and let's see what you're dealing with. Right? If you're in the marketing space, the discovery is like, do you have a website I can quickly look at? Yes. I just asked an ended question. Yes, I do. Pull up the website. Share them the website. Ah, I see. You're now the discovery, the doctor. I see. Does that make sense? I see the issue. I see. Oh, whoa, what do you see? Well, I see that your website's not optimized. I see that your website's not generating any traffic. I see that your social media, you're not consistent with what you're doing. I see that you don't have marketing strategies and marketing channels going on these specific channels. I see that you're not doing these specific things. I see. It's all about I seeing. Discovery, I see, right? And it's all about I see filtered into close-ended questions, filtered in through walking through exactly what they're doing and future pacing them, right? I see that your website's not quite optimized. Don't worry, we can help you optimize this in the future. Does that make sense? You're future pacing them, okay? It's, I see that you're not consistent on social media. That's not a problem. We can assist you in the future. We'll take care of it. We'll dive a deeper look, and we can always create your content for you in the future, okay? Okay. Right? Yes. Close-ended questions. You're directing, you're future pacing the question. Does that make sense? That should be clear, right? If you're not, you're like, Cam, give me another example. I'll give you another example, okay? So let's say, again, I'm looking at somebody's social media page. Let's just say I'm doing that sale. And I say, well, I can see that you're not that consistent on social media, and they're going to make whatever excuse that they want. You can hurry and cut it through. You say, I see that you're not that consistent on social media, but don't worry. We got you. We can help you actually get consistent on there, and we can actually take care of all of that content, right? You're building these things because what you're doing is building value. This is all about building value. Okay, discovery, the qualifier, is all about building value based upon what you're going to deliver to them. Then the pivot. Here's your pivot. Build value. Why is there an objection loop? To build more value, right? We'll get into that in a sec. Next piece is your presentation. Your future pacing goes to their future pacing. Now you're going to give the company presentation. So it's just like, we can help you all of those things. So currently we're offering 3 main packages, right? I would always say 3. Give them that choice. I would always say 3, right? I mean, can you say 2? Yes. Can you say 1? Yes, right? But 3 is a good number. 3 is a lucky number. 3 is great. So I would always do 3. And the 3 that you have is you have your low. So if you notice there's a low, then you have your medium, and then you have your high, okay? So if I'm asking that, say, yeah, we offer 3 main packages, and it's all based upon where you're currently at, right? It's all based upon you, these 3 packages, but we can assist you. So I'll explain these 3 packages. So the very first plan that we have our base plan, okay? And it's not only a base plan, it's actually more of an elite plan, but basically what we do is we'll help you optimize your website, and then we're going to help you with your social media posting, and we can do about 2 posts per week to make sure that you have enough content going on, and we can help take care of the digital aspects for you, so this way you could focus on doing your business. Does that make sense? Yeah, perfect. Well, let me explain our medium plan. So our medium plan is kind of a step up. It focuses on multiple aspects of posting, multiple aspects of article creation, multiple aspects of XYZ. So think of it as like double, triple, or quadruple the amount that you would be getting on the low. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Perfect. And then our high plan, okay? Our high plan, and you pitch them the price. Our low plan is $100 a month. Our medium plan is $500 a month. Our high plan is $700 a month, right? You can organize them similar to like popcorn and a popcorn, where you can actually say our low plan is $1,000 a month. Our medium plan is $1,300 a month, and our high plan is $1,500 a month. That's a good price range, right? So now somebody's like, oh wow, like, right? You go through these, you let them know the pricing, and then, right? And then you ask for the objection on this side. So now there's a few paths. So number 1 path that you can do, right? You can assume the sell. You can go in, you can say, yep, so we're going to get you started. A lot of times what I found is you're going to hit the objection. Assuming the sell is great. It's great. But what's even better is ask for the objection. And if there's no objection present, you can ask for the objection and assume the sell at the same time. How I did it is I always said, do you have any questions? That's a very, very good way to say, do you have an objection? right? Sometimes I would say even I would push the note, because in most cases, what's it going to be? We already know that they want the services. We already know that they need the services. The only objection that they're probably going to run into is the pricing, because there's so much value in everything that's built. It's probably going to be pricing, right? So let's just say theoretically it is pricing. Let's just say it is. Do you have any questions about the pricing or anything else? What did I just say? I planted a seed. Do you have any questions about the pricing or anything else? What are they going to do if they have it's too much? Well, yeah, I mean, and they're going to let it go. They're going to let that objection go. Well, yeah, it just seems a little bit high. I don't know if I can afford it, right? Or yeah, it's just maybe something I need to think about, right? I need to talk to my spouse about, right? Yeah, maybe I need to do this, or maybe I need to do that, or I don't know which one to choose, right? Whatever they say, it's no worries, I got you. So let me make sure that I'm understanding it correctly. And then you're going to squash that objection, and then you're going to give them recommendations. So let me make sure I understand you correctly. So what you're sharing with me is the pricing might be a little bit too high or something, so you might need to speak with your spouse about it. Is that what I'm understanding? Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Okay, perfect. Is there anything else that would stop you from moving forward on this besides that? Or is that the only thing? No, that's the only thing. Okay, perfect. So if we can help you with that, again, if your wife says yes, that means that we're going to move forward. Is that right? Am I understanding that right? Yep, that's right. You just squashed the objection and isolated it down to one form, right? So now you understand, you're finding the smoke screen, you're isolating the objection, and then you're squashing the objection. And how you squash the objection is following three main pieces, right? Acquire, create, expand. Acquire the attention, create based off that attention, and expand it. That's what you do. And then you give them a recommendation and a choice, and there's a loop here. So if the person's like, I need to speak with my spouse. Yeah, okay, perfect. So just some understanding. So the only thing, I mean, everything else makes sense. You just need to speak with your spouse. If your spouse is ready to go, you're ready to go. Am I understanding that right? Okay. Like, yeah, like perfect. That makes perfect sense. Like, I get you. I understand it. You need to speak to your spouse and stuff. But let me ask you this, right? Speaking to your spouse and getting permission is great. And I think you probably need to do it. But let me ask you, let me give you a scenario really quick. And now I'm creating a scenario. Let me give you a scenario really quick. Let's just say you're driving your car. And you get a flat tire. And now let's just say this flat tire, you're right by a tire shop. You get a flat tire. It's now just pushed right into the tire shop. And the tire shop says, well, hey, I can take care of your car. It's going to cost you, and you do the same price. It's going to cost you $100. It's going to cost you XYZ. Now my question is do you need to speak with your spouse to get that tire fixed, or does your spouse trust you enough to know that the car is not working right now and the tire needs to be fixed? And I stop. And now they think about it and they say, no, you're right. My spouse would just, it's an assumption to just get the tire fixed and be like, that's basically what we're dealing with here. Because what's really going to happen? You go speak with her, maybe you call me back, maybe you don't call me back, who knows? But you're now in the same exact position with your car having a flat tire, with your credit not fixed, with your website's not there. You're still in the same exact situation. And now not only did you spend time wanting to fix it or spend this, but now you made the decision purposely not to fix it. Do you feel that and you transition back, your dream, you can go back to here, your dream or this, do you feel that you'll be able to achieve it without doing that? Because again, in the past you told me that that's the only thing holding you back. So is it really the only thing that's holding back? And the person you're pushing now on pride. The person will say, no, you're right. It is the only thing holding me back, and I probably need to do that. Okay, perfect. So to kind of continue, I'm just going to gather some basic information. And again, worst case scenario, if you speak to your wife afterwards and she says no, we'll stop it. Worst case scenario, okay? But this way we can actually get the processes moving forward for you and get you taken care of, all right? Okay, fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask some basic information. So again, I have your first name is this, your last name is this, right? Yes. I don't want to jump right to payment. What's your card information? The person's like, shit, man, I'm already on the barrier. No. I'm going to verify. I want a yes or no. I want closed answers. I have your first name is this. Is that right? Yes. I have your last name is this. Is that right? Yes. I have your email address is this. Is that right? Yeah. And then I have a phone number, and just in case for any reason I have your own phone number is this. Is that right? Yeah. Perfect. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some basic payment information or billing information just to get things started. So if you want, just to get things started, on the back of your card, you're going to see the expiration date. Could I get that really quick? Right? Or the back of the card, you'll see 3 digits. So I never collect the 16-digit number on the front first, ever. It's always CVV first, then expiration date, because once they're giving me something, we're moving the transaction forward. So I would transition and say, cool, if you turn the card around, there should be 3 digits on the back. You want to grab that for me really quick? They'll grab it for you, and they'll give it to you. Worst case scenario is, I need to go find my wallet. No worries, I can wait on hold for you. I'll just wait on hold for you. Worst case scenario is they hang up on you. Great, they hung up. But you are either being sold or you're selling. So if they're hanging up on you, they're sold. They can't have no other option besides to hang up. Does that make sense? If you're at that point, you've gotten every variable done, every process done, all the way down to the specific point of making a choice. This increases your conversion rate. This is why I had so high of a conversion rate doing this. Okay. Then I get 3 digits in the front or at the back. Then I say, okay, perfect. Next, I need to get the expiration date. There it is. Then I ask, okay, is this a Visa or MasterCard? I didn't even ask for the 16-digit number on the front yet. I got the CVV, I got the expiration date, and then I asked, is it a Visa or MasterCard Discovery XYZ? If they say it's a Visa, I say, perfect. Then can I get the 16 digits or a 16-digit number on the front, starting with the 4, please? I'm giving them as if I already have it, starting with the 4. If it's a Discovery, starting with the 5. Does that make sense? If it's an American Express, starting with, I think, the 3, right? So you have that memorized, so that way they feel comfortable. Then they give you that card information, and then you read your disclosure, right? What's your disclosure? So today, this date, we'll be charging this amount of money for this amount of this. Do you agree? Yes, I do. Transaction complete. There's your sales process. Then you transition to the handoff. The handoff is one of 2 spots. So first, you want to make sure that the disclosures are read for them, so it's legal. The second, when you transition them over, you want to give somebody a hand-to-hand, like a handoff, a guidance. They're still in limbo. They're still vulnerable. It's like a big fight. They just went through this big old fight and they're exhausted. Give them a hug and help them get over to the next side. Does that make sense? By doing that, by following us, you can think of it as a football field. A football field where, again, your goal is to gain as much yards as you can. Their goal is to push you back as much as you can, right? And you can think of it that way. You can take that concept. But hopefully those processes make sense. I gave you a little bit of processing into a sales process. Now, this sales process, if you notice, is worth a lot. If you can implement it correctly, it is worth a lot of money. A lot of money. I mean, companies pay lots of money for this thing. Okay? Lexington Law Firm, how much money did they invest getting the sales script? They got it from me for free because I worked there, right? I worked there at the time. But to pay for a consultant to teach this stuff, that's tens of thousands of $20,000s of dollars. That's a lot of money. I just gave it to you for free. Hopefully you use it. Hopefully it's beneficial, and hopefully it's great. Okay, but that's the video for today. So video for today is about the sales process, right? Now you understand the process of it. We'll go over the scripts, so that way you understand the scripts of it. We'll go over how to program AI to do the same thing, so that way we have AI going through everything too. So that being said, my name is Cameron Garlick. Hopefully this was knowledgeable, informative. Hopefully you learned at least something. But this is the sales process that has gotten me to earn any and all of the money that I've ever generated in sales. It's following this specific sales process. There is more to it, right? There is more: acquisition, creation, expansion, how it works, why it works, traffic, right? There's a little bit deeper conceptually to it. But that being said, that's it. In the short days, you're going to see me apply this specific thing to AI, so AI can make those sale calls and everything for us. But that being said, my name's Kim Garlic. If you have any questions, if you're like, wow, like this is kind of good, reach out. That's why I'm here. So that being said, like, if you have any questions, if you're like, this is great, I put the links in the chat. Click the link so that way you can learn more. I have different videos on it. Come back to this video if you want, if it helped you out. Of course, always give it a like, give it a share, give it a comment. Those things do help spread this. And if you notice, oh my gosh, it's all free. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.